2017. It was my 17th birthday, and I was so excited. And a lot of you might ask, why were you excited? You were just turning 17. But to me, it meant that my stepdad got to see me grow another year. But little did I know that 10 days later, we'd be planning his funeral. Little did I know that a piece of my happiness will be ripped away from me, and that was the last time that I see him. Cancer. That's what most people call it. But me, I call it torture. It ripped and ate away at my family, and eventually, it took him away. I was so lost. I questioned so many times, why me? Why my family? Why take him? Why? It's been over a year, and I still am sewing myself back together. My name is Hannah Muhammad, and no, I'm not fully recovered. But me, I'm refashioning. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the story about how I refashioned my life, and so I look back at my young childhood, and life seemed pretty great. I had good siblings, and they were like all-star athletes. They made good grades, and I had a supporting family that always paid for my stuff and like supported me with most things in life. And in 2008, my mom decided to divorce my father, and it was a pretty quick decision. It just happened. It was like 2 weeks later, and next thing you know, I moved out, and I was just living alone with my mom. And I had learned that my mom already had a boyfriend lined up, as well as my dad was moving in with another guy, which was a new shock to me, I guess. And as this happened, I realized that I was sort of stuck with the cards that I was dealt, and I couldn't just shy away. And I was pretty upset, and I was still maturing at the time, so life was hard, and I decided to just go ahead and keep pushing forward, and I had to just deal with what I was dealt. And as I focused on myself and growing, I was able to just keep pushing on, and it became normal. And not necessarily that it was just okay, but I was happy with life at where I was. And it took a while, but now that I think I'm there, it's really nice to look back and say that I don't have a normal life, but it's one that I'm happy with and that I'm proud to be in. And I'm proud to say that I've changed my life and that I'm happy with myself, and I don't need to look for anything. And I believe that as myself as a person and my family, I'm proud, and I've changed for the better.
This helmet belonged to my Uncle Danny, who for 10 years in 1980s served in the 82nd Airborne Division. He served in Iraq, Syria, and Panama. This past summer, when I was helping him clean out his attic, I found this helmet. I said, "This is yours." He didn't say a word. He dropped to his knees in tears. And it became very apparent that the experiences he had and the battles he fought in this very helmet didn't end, and 40 years later. So that day we sat down, we talked. And that entire day he took me through every deployment he had, from his first deployment, taking down Manuel Noriega in Panama, to his last deployment, Special Operations in Syria in 1989. The effects that battles had on him 40 years later were still very apparent. He's now in his 60s, 6'5", but he has the body of an 82-year-old after 10 years of service. But what was more apparent was the effects it had on his mind, and I knew he couldn't be the only one. So I went and did my research. His generation of veterans is the most populous in the United States now, but yet they're forgotten by this generation. And PTSD is something we talk about but yet fail to understand as a society, and his generation is also forgotten on top of that. The veteran suicide rate is 1 every 65 minutes, meaning statistically speaking, if we were all veterans, we could all die in one day from suicide. So I decided I had to do something different. I had to make a change. So I reached out and found the Wounded Warrior program. And since then, that last summer, I've helped countless veterans, and I'm proud to say I'm friends with many of them. And that's how I've reshaped my world to help reshape someone else's for the better. Just as my uncle who wore this very helmet did